It goes without saying that Terraria is one of the most popular video games of all time. Now, while the game has enough content to last hundreds of hours, what if there was more?
Friggin' armor.
No, I didn't mean to hit him! What if you took everything that makes Terraria good and just added a ton more of it? A mod that adds hundreds of new items, dozens of enemies, crazy bosses, a banger OST, and a bunch of other changes. Then you'd probably get the Calamity mod, which is one of the most high-effort mods I've ever seen in a game. So you start off pretty normal. You got your copper tools, world is pretty plain. Then you realize you got something called a starter bag. So you're going to pop it open to get some basic starter potions, but the main thing that's going to stick out are these three. So you have Revengeance, Death, and Malice. These three enable different game modes that change the game and make it overall more difficult, but they can introduce some cool new features too. Revengeance mode is the first one, and alongside increasing enemy damage, spawns, and some other small changes, it introduces the Rage and Adrenaline bar. Both of these need to be charged before you can use them. For Rage, you do this by being as close as you can to enemies, but not close enough to where you're hitting them. Adrenaline, though, only can be charged during boss fights, and that requires you to not get hit at all. If you do, then say goodbye to your entire meter. Using Rage gives you a 35% increase of damage, which is okay, I guess, but that doesn't compare at all to the juicy 200% increase that Adrenaline gives. This is a good mechanic. It rewards you if you're nice at dodging, and it makes you feel like a menace with the sound it makes when you pop either of them. Besides those changes, the only other one you're going to have to watch out for is new boss AI.
Why are there so many
I
holes?
dropped my tome! Oh my god. Whoa! Overall, Revenge is a great starting choice. 10 out of 10 mode. The other two though, oh wow. Death mode is where it starts to get difficult. The changes in this range from unnoticeable to complete bullshit. To start off, the nurse will outright refuse to heal you while bosses are alive. So if you're one of those people that rely on her to win every fight, then that's tough. The two other notable changes are a damage increase to all enemies and changing enemy AI a bit. Now, when the item says a bit, that is a complete understatement. You end up having enemies that used to be super easy to deal with start bunny hopping at 50 miles an hour coming to kill you. This is a mode where you are never safe. You're gonna have alligators climbing on walls, fish swimming through blocks, and hundreds of enemies hunting your ass down at any given time. And with blood moons, especially blood moons, you are screwed. If you are early, maybe even mid-game, you're just gonna have to sit there and take an ass whooping. I mean, look at this. If you try to use your little space gun that does 17 damage a shot to deal with this, you're getting clapped. And then finally you have Malice mode, where they took every boss in the game and said, let's just make them harder. Every boss has multiple changes, every boss has 25% more damage, and every boss projectile has 25% more velocity. So yeah, you can pick from any of these great game modes, or none of them if you really want to. The new items and bosses are crazy. This mod adds 27 bosses, which are all incredible, especially the late game ones. First off, just look at these sprites. I mean, damn. Meanwhile, you got these other mods with bosses looking like they came straight out of Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. Seriously, the effort put into these sprites is on a whole nother level. And with the boss fights themselves, you can tell they put a lot of time into making each and every one of them a fun and unique experience. And the music for the fights, oh my god! DM Dokuro is the artist behind almost all the tracks in the mod, and they killed it. This OST is honestly better than what you'd find in a lot of other games. I really can't praise it enough. The songs make the atmosphere and fights so much more immersive. I don't want to spoil too much about the fights themselves, but the Devourer of Gods fight is easily one of my favorites in the entire mod. Speaking of bosses, a lot of them have to be spawned in new biomes added by the mod, and these just look amazing. You've got places like the Astral Infection, Sunken Sea, and Abyss that make you want to explore everything this mod has to offer. It feels like there's always something new around the corner with Calamity, and always something to grind for, which leads into the next part. With base Terraria, you've got the Zenith being the best weapon in the game, and sure, it looks pretty cool, but then you take a look at Calamity and it's like... There are so many weapons and items added to the game, it's honestly kind of overwhelming. They've even added an entirely new class, Rogue, which primarily uses throwing weapons. Rogue also introduces a new mechanic, Stealth, which allows the class to use stealth strikes, a special attack that changes depending on which weapon you're using. If I were to show off every nice looking weapon in the mod, this video would probably be around an hour long, so I'd say just look at the wiki and you'll see what I'm talking about. One of the best parts about finding or crafting a new weapon is that it can often be used as a material to make a stronger weapon down the line. It makes finding new items exciting, because even if it's bad now, you can upgrade it later and have it become much, much better. Combining all these weapons into one strong one is a very satisfying task, and I've got to say, for a mod with hundreds of new weapons, the balancing is surprisingly good. Now it's not perfect by any means, but come on, what game's balancing is? If you're a fan of Terraria and haven't played the Calamity mod, then you're missing out. It's free and easy to install on Tmod Loader, and after you're done playing it, you're not going to be able to go back to vanilla Terraria. Seriously, this is a mod you've got to try at least once. This video has been a bit different from the usual content I've put out on my channel, so if you enjoyed watching it, please let me know and I'll be sure to make more videos like it. Anyways, take care and have a good one.